The federal government has funded primary health networks with regions that have been impacted by bushfires, various funding to encourage and support events like the Support for the Supporters event that we've run in collaboration with RAMP and Hunter New England LHD.
One of the things I had a bit of a chat with a lot of the community about mental health and how we could support, and there was a lot of community members that weren't going to seek support and help and were just battling away themselves. So I spoke with RAMP, who's our Rural Adversity Mental Health person in our area, which is Andrew Daley, and together we spoke with the community and came up with holding a little bit of an event to give some tools to the community members so they could support everybody else but also support themselves.
We were talking about actually trying to help those people who are in a support role with keeping their mental health well, keeping themselves stable and giving them an opportunity to gather together and have a talk and learn some skills about how to approach stress levels. So we kicked off the Support the Supporters program. It was a face-to-face event, and it was organised by Kelly in the PHN at Tenterfield. And then we had plans to do other spaces, but COVID hit, so we had a little bit of a hiccup there. But we did a bit of online support. Since the COVID restrictions have been reduced, we've been able to get back out into local communities. So we actually kicked off another Support the Supporters here at Wytaliba at the local school, and then we proceeded to do a similar thing out at Torrington, and we had another Support the Supporters day with a lot of community leaders and other interested people.
So the content of that night that they had at the school for Support for the Supporters was really useful. It just pretty much gave us some tools on, just how to deal with stress, and one of the metaphors was stress bucket, and if your bucket gets too full it overflows, and so just how to kind of release some of that stress without it becoming overwhelming, I suppose. So definitely was useful. I definitely recommend Support for the Supporters. I think any extra tools that you can equip yourself with to sort of deal with the emotional stresses and perhaps the overwhelm of the situations that we've been in through the drought and then the fires and even COVID. Definitely feel like we need those extra tools.
The information that Andrew had given us was really, really useful for the supporters to be able to support people in the community and to be able to know how to identify when someone actually needed the support, because not all men and women reach out to you and say, hey, I need a hand.
I definitely recommend it to everyone. It's so practical and it's presented fantastically also. It was well needed and timed greatly.
Yeah, I would recommend it even to people that aren't necessarily supporting someone that's having a hard time right now. It's just good to know for general life circumstances.
I think the biggest thing was this last fire in November. It hit us like a bomb. Just to get through that you get through it. But it hangs there for weeks and weeks and weeks. Every time you look, you can see what has happened. You see the fire coming, you can smell it, you see the darkness, the roaring, the sound. It was horrendous. So when I heard about this support program, I thought that's where I should be going. And it was good. The people who came, I think there was 2 or 3 different days we had. And you get to talk to other people who don't judge you.
After the initial shock went through and the cleaning up started, we started getting some mental health support, which was really, really needed, because everybody was at a different level of acceptance and recovery. When we heard about the support day that was coming, I was really excited about it because, number one, my husband has complex PTSD, major depression and huge anxieties, which is getting pretty well controlled. However, I thought this would be a great opportunity for him to engage. with others on a sort of an informal level and feel comfortable and knowing he's not alone. And this program was great. It was informal, it was inclusive, it allowed people to have their voice, which was great, without any judgment. And that's really the core of how we can get that message out there. So I've really encourage this program.
For more information about the bushfire services that the PHN support and provide, please visit our People Bank website.